What's up, guys? Inigami here, and let's go through Smoothie Oven treasure map on the Japanese version of One Piece Treasure Cruise. Let's go over Smoothie Oven first. Smoothie Oven is our brand new treasure map character. They are a dual character, and it's nice that they start off as a dual character, so their unevolved version is also a dual character. Please. So you don't have to get one Smoothie and one Oven and then evolve them. And also nice, their captain ability also just starts off as like good. So you don't have to level up their captain ability in order to actually use them. You can use them as soon as you get them. They're without limit breaking them. Their captain ability is decent, so you can use them as a captain on your teams while you're running through treasure map a lot easier. So they are a powerhouse slasher or powerhouse fighter if you are Oven. Dual version is a powerhouse slasher. Captain ability, very good. A lot of people have been very excited about this. Before they're combined, their Smoothie's captain ability boosts attack of Psy characters by 3 times and Quick and Int characters by 2.5. Oven is boost Quick by 3 and then Psy yellow and purple by 2.5. So their own color 3 times and either blue and purple or yellow and purple by 2.5. Once combined, they boost the attack of yellow, purple, and blue characters by 3.75 times and heals 3 times their recovery at the end of each turn. Now, I would recommend still putting health orbs on these characters instead of recovery orbs because their transformation only lasts you 2 turns, so full recovery candies on these characters, I think I said recovery orbs. Recovery candies on these characters only give you a total of 600 heal, where 100 health would give you 400 HP all the time. So I would go for that health over that recovery as far as cotton candy goes. Their limit break sailor ability makes it so that they can't be blown away, and other sailor abilities just give you stats on yellow, purple, and blue characters. And their special ability boosts the chance of getting Quick and Psy orbs for 2 turns, boosts orbs on Quick, Psy, and Int characters by 2 times for 2 turns, and becomes Smoothie Oven for 2 turns. And when they swap, their swap ability makes Quick and Psy orbs beneficial for Quick, Psy, and Int characters for 1 turn and deals 20 times their attack at the end of turn and shuffles orbs. So the thing about the end of turn damage is their special shuffles orbs. Their captain ability, their swap ability doesn't shuffle orbs. Their special ability shuffles the orbs. Sorry. The thing about that end of turn damage is that 20 times end of turn damage is only about 30,000 damage. It's very, 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 very small damage. So it's like treasure map Enel's damage, but even lower. And I've got a pull to do, so let's do this pull before we actually go into the guide, because I know you guys like pulls, right? Hey, it's a gold. That's better than a silver. I have Dex Oven. But he's still nice. Still nice. Alright, back to treasure map stuff. So there are ambushes on this fight. The ambush is Smoothie Oven. The final stages, or the mini bosses, are Perospero, Galette, Mont-d'Or, and Bavarois. Now, there was some rumors floating about that treasure map characters were going to scale differently this time around. The scaling is exactly the same as always. Mini bosses on the map are don't scale with treasure map level. On the final stage, they scale with treasure map level. So if Bandai is ever intending to change how characters are scaling, it hasn't changed yet. Ambush fight exists once again. If you don't know how this works, when you hit the Toucan Sam, the ambush fight will show up. They'll jump at you over 2 turns, and whenever they hit you, you can either choose to do the fight or to run away. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take the chest. Now, if you don't do the fight, you miss out on a lot of proficiency and a lot of treasure map points. Always do the fight, I'd say. And if you win the fight, you get 1.5 times stats. But if you think you can't beat them, maybe you hit like a bad debuff on your team and you don't feel very confident about that, you can choose to run away. You still get the 1.5 times treasure map points for hitting Toucan Sam. You just don't get the 1.5 times stats boost, which of course makes everything a lot easier. So I'm going to be using, and once again, I remind that my teams are not free to play. My teams are not free to play friendly at all. They're going to be the best teams I can make, although this team is. Well, no, it's not because it's using Pound, but Pound's just for points. So my teams aren't free to play, but they are just trying to get me as many points as I can. So you can see which teams you can use to get as many points as you can. I'm going to be using a double Smoothie Oven team. Not because it's the best team. I would actually say like a double Cracker or like using a Cracker friend captain would be better. But I'm avoiding using Cracker friend captains because I am very limited on a number of Crackers I have. So I don't want to waste them all by using 2 of them every time I do treasure map. So don't want to have to reset. I want to use Smoothie Oven so that way it goes a little bit easier. Now, Pound, completely replaceable. He's here just for points. The one character we're using very importantly is Magellan. Magellan will strongly poison stage 2 here. Because stage 2 is either Smoothie or Oven. If you have Smoothie, she'll boost her attack. If you poison her, she gets rid of that attack boost on herself, so it's actually good for us. Also, 4 turns of damage threshold, and there's not really many good damage threshold removers here. But that will remove that damage threshold, or the Magellan poison will kill both Smoothie and Oven. Oven boosts his defense. Magellan gets rid of defense. Smoothie boosts her attack. If you toxic her, she gets rid of the attack. Either way, Magellan Toxic will just kill them over a few turns for both of them. Once you get here, I am using Pound to get rid of the silence on my Luffy, so I can use that special. We'll swap over to Oven, so that way they're blue. Get the Orb boost. Get the Affinity boost. Oh, you can't get rid of the defense boost on Oven. My bad. And their special shuffles them Orbeez. And Dofi doesn't do anything on this team. Dofi's just a quick character for points. So once again, more replaceable characters. He's just a 1.4 times booster, so I want to use him on the team while I still can. So Dofi, totally replaceable. Pound, totally replaceable. Magellan, very nice. Luffy, good affinity boost. As far as what the fight actually does, which I completely glossed over, Smoothie Oven, by the way, on their final stage, will lock your chain to 1.2 times for 3 turns, prevents debuffs, gives you empty and bomb orbs, and silences your crew for 2 turns, which a lot of my crew has silence reduction, so doesn't matter. If you use an attack boost on your team, they will lower your attack and clear your buffs. So if you want to use an attack booster, Linlin is boosted. Use Linlin on stage 2, so that way you have an attack boost going into stage 3. Against Bavarois. Bavarois is definitely one of the easier fights. Bavarois, and I would say Perospero. Oh no, Mont-d'Or I would say is probably easiest. All the mini bosses this time around are pretty easy. I'm using a double treasure map Whitebeard team. Once again, just because of points. Nothing really dangerous with Bavarois. What he will do is he will have 3 units in the back row with great hit barriers. Getting the Shanks on this team is probably the most important part. Shanks and or Treasure Map Whitebeard. Treasure Map Whitebeard because his AoE damage will kill the guys through their Great Barriers. Shanks because they are a 2-turn Great Barriers, so you use Shanks special twice, that will get rid of the Great Barrier entirely. So you either use Shanks to get rid of the barriers on the back, or use Whitebeard to kill him through the barrier. He'll also give you attack down for 2 turns, which Shanks helps counter that attack down by giving you tap damage. So, tap damage from Shanks, AoE damage from Whitebeard. I'm also using Brook and Mihawk on his team just to deal damage, and if Bavarois is low enough health, I can just use Brook to kill people anyways. Smoothie and Oven on this team because I want to get as many limit break proficiency points as I can on them. Using them on teams, get those proficiency points, that way I can max them out early, and then once I max them out, I'll just replace her with anyone else. Since Whitebeard is a rainbow captain, you can use anybody. So there's that attack down. He always gives you these same orbs, so he always gives you empty on the right column, and badly matching on the left column. I'll use 2 specials and kill Bavarois for quite some time. And eventually, I can use Luffy special and actually attack eventually. But not yet. Now's not the time. Now we'll just kill them with specials. Remember that treasure map does go up as you go. For almost all teams, even in New World, I would say it doesn't even take until at least 15 maps on New World before you have to actually like start thinking about your teams. For then, you can basically just slap through as many points as you can and you'll be good. Or once you get past like 25 to 30, then you'll might have to start using some upgrades. Against Mont-d'Or, we're going to be using Treasure Map Dofi. That's basically it. You want to use Treasure Map Dofi. You either want to use someone who special rewinds your captains or middle left column. This is the only fight where character placement matters. You could use Dofi captains, but if you are using Treasure Map Dofi as your captain, you have to remember that Mont-d'Or is going to special rewind your top row and your middle left character. So you can use a special rewinder like Hadgetin. My Hadgetin's cooldown is way too long though, he's really not going to do any help. Everyone else on his team, doesn't matter. We only need one special, and that's Dofi's. And the reason we want to use Dofi captain is because Mont-d'Or is going to rewind our captains and middle left, which is where all the characters that I want to use, except for my Dofi, which is why he's not the captain. He's going to orb bind your captains for 5 turns, which Dofi has the limit break to get rid of orb bind on himself, so that takes care of that. And he'll give you all block orbs, which, hey, Dofi changes all driven character orbs, including block orbs, into matching orbs. And that's it. He does have an on-death effect, which deals 3/4 of his attack in damage to your team. It really should never, ever be enough to kill you unless you use a special to lower your own health, because there's nothing really threatening here. Even whenever you're on, like, level 100, the 75 times, or 75% of his attack damage should never straight up kill you. But even if it did, Doflamingo special gives you % damage reduction, so you're extra doubly safe against that end of turn, or that death damage. There. You can use characters like Coliseum Kid to rewind your specials whenever you get here. Instead of Hadgetin, you can use Kid and use Dofi captains. That's a great thing to do. Kid also just reduces cooldowns by a lot in general, so if your specials somehow aren't ready, which they should be if they're maxed out, even with no stalling like that. Mont-d'Or, piece of cake. Use Dofi special, get your specials ready, kill him with a bunch of matching orbs. Later on, you can use other specials, like I can use my Cabbage Dish special if I move my Hadgetin down, if I have to stall for that. We're going to use Cabbage Dish as a sub, use someone else as a captain, whatever you want. Gastino on this team is just because I want to get, once again, those proficiency points on Gangster Gastino, so swap out Gastino for whoever you like. Next stage is Gambi versus Galette, and Galette is the most annoying of the mini-bosses because it's the only, like, half-difficult mini-boss at all. All the other mini-bosses are an absolute pushover. Yay, I have one more. We're going to be using Judge Sanji, Friend Captain. And our Judge Sanji, Friend Captain, we're going to be using because Galette is going to silence our captains, which, hey, Sanji Judge gets rid of. And they also... she'll also limit us to 2 specials a turn, and Sanji Judge will basically be the only special we actually need. I am using Neptune as a sailor, not as my captain, which I would normally be using Neptune as a captain, except I want to use his special on stage 6. And I am using the Germa ship only because that gives me 2 turns of cooldown reduction. You can use whatever ship you want, it doesn't matter here. Your crew doesn't have to have all the colors on it. Remember that Sanji only requires 6 characters. It's Judge who requires 1 of each color. But Sanji is looking for 6 powerhouse characters on your team, so as long as you have 6 powerhouse of any kind, you can use Sanji Captain. If your team doesn't want to use a lot of powerhouse characters, you can use... Well, no, you really need those powerhouse characters using Sanji Judge. But you don't need to have all the colors on your team. But if you do have all the colors on your team, extra bonus, because then Sunji Judge will make those Tainted Orbs count as matching, which is going to matter later. So I have my Neptune special ready. Oh, and don't need Neptune special yet. Neptune special for next turn, because this is the only mini-boss on this fight. And we have Miniboss Brule. Brule has very, very low health. You could actually definitely kill her through your silence, or your despair here. Oh, Brule is the one that silences. I thought, but I bought Galette silence. Nope, Brule silences your captains and gives you that despair. That's why we're using Neptune, so that we get rid of that despair. And then we can attack through this stage. If you have multiple turn specials, like Ichiji, you could use that here, but I'm not gonna worry about it. On Galette stage, Galette, about 600,000 hit points to start, attacks for about 4,200. Swap Sanji to Judge, or Judge to Sanji. Use that one special, so that way we get the attack boost and orb boost. I am using Niji here to give me all tandem orbs, which is nice, but the single orb on Sanji Judge is all you need, because... Boop. There she goes. There's 8.5 million damage with one attack on Sanji Judge. My Ichiji doesn't really even give me any damage, so... One Sanji Judge Friend Captain is all you need, and that's no combo or anything else. So that will last you a while. Like I said, it's not that hard of a fight as long as you got a friend Sanji Judge and a despair remover. Gotta remember to bring that despair remover so that you don't have to sit there and stall through that 10-turn despair. Or no, that 8-turn despair. And then the last of the mini bosses is gonna be versus Perospero. Perospero, once again, these mini bosses are not hard at all. I'm using teams that are incredibly more powerful than you will ever need to beat these guys. Or at least not until you get to treasure map level like 40s and 50s. And at that point, why are you watching me to make your guides? I don't make the treasure map levels 40s and 50s. I'm lazy. So I'm gonna be using a double Tank Man Luffy Legend team. Don't need Tank Man. Don't need anything. Really, the character we want to be bringing here is Ace, because Ace will give us our type boost for our strength characters and give us all red orbs. He does have a 15-hit combo barrier, which can be annoying to get through, but I am just using 3 Fortnite characters because they are 1.3 times boosted. 1.3 times boosted. So just using 3 random characters to give me those points. Oh, Snake Man. Did I say Tank Man? Whoops. Snake Man Luffy's. Using 3 characters to start off the attacks to deal with that 15-hit combo barrier. And then after that, we'll attack with our red characters. But he really doesn't do anything. He gets debuff protection. He has a 15-hit barrier for 9 turns. He has end of turn damage, but he's not going to live long enough for the end of turn damage to matter. If he attacks below 50%, he'll bind a character. If he attacks below 20%, he'll put more debuffs up, but he doesn't have special interrupts. And all he has is 15-hit combo barrier. It's not even that high of a combo barrier, so you can kill him. There should never be a time where you'll leave Perospero alive. So, we're gonna use Luffy special. We can use both Luffy specials so we get the 2 good captain boosts, I guess. You could also use Luffy earlier. And then attack, hit 3 perfects. Luffy, Ace, Orb boost, type boost. Boom, 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 and deleted. 12 million damage seems okay for now. I think that'll last me for a short while. And then finally, the final stage is gonna be versus Big Mom. So this is actually Big Mom and Katakuri for this fight. I believe this is the first treasure map fight where we have 2 characters on the final stage, I want to say. But it is a Big Mom Katakuri final stage fight. And there are no special interrupts. The only thing you have to worry about is leaving one of the 2 alive, which is something that we're going to avoid doing. Because if we leave either Lin Lin or Katakuri alive, then they'll each do a bad thing if they are ever alone. But just kill them both on the same turn, and it doesn't matter, right? They start off with a total of 1 million hit points on the both of them, so it's not like they're even like, oh wow, it's like insanely high amounts of health. They do have percent damage reduction, which is what we're using Pound to get rid of. Miniboss Big Mom on stage 6 will give us all block orbs, and if you leave her alive below 50%, she'll also lower your chain multiplier. ETG and Niji, not necessary. If you do have ETG though, and you don't have the rest of the kids, what I'm using on my Lin is I'm using Frumpy support, because Frumpy support will reduce enemies' defense whenever you use Lin special, which will allow Niji to actually gain that defensive conditional attack boost. It's nice. I don't have any other way of getting tandem orbs on my captain. I don't need the tandem orb parts of either of these two kid specials. They're just here because they have the most points I can get. And Luffy can also be replaced with Oven Pound as a captain. Oven Pound will give you an orb booster, so it'll give you an easier time versus the final stage. But you could also use Luffy's special here on this stage, since we don't need the Oven Smoothie. Names are hard, man. You can also use Ichiji special here to do end of turn damage on this stage and end of turn damage on the final stage. I did that too early. I actually didn't expect that to kill Lin, because now my Lin special isn't ready, so I won't be able to unbind my bottom row. Whoops. They don't do anything based off of turns. What I'll do here is I am just going to take 2 hits. They have 3 turns of percent damage reduction. They prevent poison, they prevent delay. They attack every turn Katakuri, every 2 turns for Lin. There we go. And now we'll attack. So what I would have done if I actually had my Lin special ready right away is I'll use Lin special, get rid of the bind, use my Cracker special to give me a ton of matching orbs, use my Pound special to get rid of percent damage reduction, and use Niji to give me that conditional attack boost. And I mean, this is here, I guess, it gives you end of turn damage, but it doesn't really matter. And goodbye. That team will last you a really long time. Those are all of the fights. Remember that you can swap out as many characters as you want. As things get hard, you might have to start replacing points boosted characters for lower points boosted characters that work better, or just replacing it with non-points boosted characters in general. If you ever have a hard time, I highly recommend just replacing a captain, like a points boosting captain, with a really good legend. And then after that, the fights will be a piece of cake for a long time. That's Treasure Map, guys. I've been Zenigami. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all stay beautiful.